Hello, everybody. Today is, I think, Tuesday, and we're a couple of days over on our Sunday afternoon live. But I had to wait because we have a special guest today that I wanted to introduce you to, and she knows a lot more about oils and your dog than I do. So I'm going to ask her some questions and introduce you to her. So welcome, everybody. It's Tuesday morning, and we're going to talk about oils and your dog. And this is Lynda Bowors. We happen to share the last name because she's my mama. Can you tell? On my road trip, I'm just visiting with some family, and we were to spend yesterday and today together. And we got talking about how my mom, Lynda, likes to use oils. She loves to use them with her dogs, and she has some very creative ways to do that. So I thought it would be lovely for you to be able to hear about that, and you can try them with your dogs too. So let's just start by introducing Lynda, and maybe you can tell us about when you started using oils and why you started using oils.
For sure. I started about 2.5 years ago, and basically mostly for just general health and improving how I felt. So that's kind of what got me into it.
Awesome. And that's longer than I've been using oils, people. Somehow she got onto them before I did, and I didn't even know. And then I got my oils, and she's like, well, I've already been using the oils. I'm like, oh, okay. So what's your favorite way to use the oils now after you've been using them for 2.5 years?
Well, I like to diffuse them, and certainly I think I have one just about every room. And it's beneficial for me and the family, and also for the dogs too. So that's kind of how I like to use them mostly. And thank you for preparing me one last night. And so
yes.
We're going to be doing the roll-on, which is really very helpful as well.
We did a roll-on night last night, and made a bunch of different roll-ons for different from my family members and stuff. So that was really fun to use your old empty. You got an old empty roller bottle, and we just turned them into roller bottles at blends, which was really fun. So tell me about your dogs and how many, and their names, and what they're like.
Okay. Well, the oldest one is 13, going to be 13.
Oh wow! I think I just came across a picture of her.
Yeah.
And she was with, I don't know, like my oldest is 16, and she was a puppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so Mishka is a Bichon Shih Tzu, and she, like I say, is in very good health. Fortunately, I didn't think that she would be just because of her structure, but she is very healthy and slowing down somewhat, but a very active dog. And so I kind of got into agility with her just because she was too busy, and I needed to keep her mind occupied. So that's how I got started.
So explain what agility is.
Agility is a dog sport.
Okay.
And so you train, and you can compete, and I didn't think I would, and I did, and I got hooked. So now I have 4 dogs.
It sounds like oil addiction and dog addictions might go hand in hand. I don't know.
It's a possibility there. Yes. So basically with Mishka is she's just an obsessive type of animal, and extremely smart. So yeah. So she's the one I started with. And then I got a border collie, Grace, who is now almost 10.
Wow.
Yes. And she's starting to age, but most people don't notice it because she's extremely fast and very active as well. So, and then Fresca is 8, and I've had her for 4 years. She's a rescue.
Wow, 4 years.
I know.
These all seemed like yesterday that these dogs came. Yeah.
Yes, and she probably benefits the most, just because she is very a fearful dog. So fear and her stress, anything affects her, and so I tend to use them a lot with her. And then Kaylee, who is just 2, and again, so the 3 are border collies, and she's just kind of skittish because she came off a ranch and being inside, and she's not, it took her a while to get used to being a pet. So the ones that I use the most is Peace and Calm.
Yeah.
So Peace and Calm is, I diffuse it, but I also will apply it on me when I'm around them, and then I will apply it on them around their collar.
Okay.
And I do find that it does settle them, and it can be in any situation. But for trialing, which is typically when I use it the most, I use Valor for myself, and then And then the peace and calm I will also use for myself, and then what I have on my hand I will apply on them as well. So that I find very effective.
So I heard that their hair follicles are really good receptors.
Yes.
So if you were to put it on them, then what would be the best way?
Generally, I just put some drops on my hands, rub my hands together, and then I just pat them around their collar area and right up to the back of their head. And some of them don't like it. Like Grace typically will, as soon as she sees me putting my hands together, she's like, no, I'm on here. But I bring her back and I apply it. She doesn't mind after I've done it. It's just initially she's very sensitive to smell. So she just kind of like, oh no, not this again. You're going to make me calm. But it doesn't turn her off. It does not slow her down. But I want to get that edge off of her. So,
Yeah.
especially in competition, because she just flips to the top side and is out of control. So
Right.
that's why I do it with her specifically.
Yeah.
And with Fresca, who is stressed all the time over small things, then I want to calm her down, and it does affect her intestinally, so she gets the runs. And if I use the peace and calm, then I hopefully have, avoided that acceleration in her.
Right. So diffusing helps with her too.
Diffusing helps, definitely.
Yeah. So she's like, I don't want to be near it. You can put it on the room, and then she's okay with you around it.
Yes. And I do find that by putting lavender, a couple of drops in their crates, when I'm trialing, again, Grace will avoid it. But I do find when I bring her out, she is much more grounded. So, and then I will also do it when they're traveling. I'll put it in their crates, and it does help.
Awesome. So you've got 3 really good oils. The lavender, which is really easy to get your hands on. Lavender is a very popular oil. Valor and Peace and Calming are very highly valued oils because they aren't easy to get your hands on. They have an ingredient called blue tansy, which is been a crop that's been traditionally a little bit more difficult to grow, has a bit more higher failure rate, and so sometimes the oils don't get made because that crop failed. And if that crop fails, we do not put that oil in the bottle and sell it. So know that when it's back on the market, it's a top quality oil. It's not compromised. So we do have a question. And it's from Sue, and she says, when you put it on their collars or on their beds, how much do you dilute?
I don't dilute. When I'm putting it on the bed, I just put a couple of drops in one corner.
Okay. So that then it's to the side and it's not right where they are.
So if they want to avoid it, they can, but the essence of the oil is still in their presence. So I don't dilute.
Okay. So if you were applying it to them as well, if you have it on your hands, you don't necessarily need to dilute either.
No.
Okay.
Now, if you wanted to use it as a spray, then you could definitely put 5 drops into a bottle and then add your MCT oil, and then you can use it as a spray.
Right.
I find that the spray they're not as happy with that because I spray water on them when they're bad.
So they recognize.
I tend to not do sprays with them.
Yeah, that can be connected with a negative.
Yes.
Whatever.
It's just what I've done in the past, so I tend to not do that.
Yeah. One of the other things that I have read about is using something like Digize or like an intestinal one, and applying it right to their belly. And if you were going to do that, not on the fur, but right onto the belly or the skin, then you would definitely dilute that.
Right.
And I probably would do like a handful of the coconut fractionated coconut oil, MCT oil, grape seed oil, or olive oil.
Right.
And just get a nice little pad of oil and then put 1 drop in.
Okay.
That's all you would need would be 1 drop.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, but their hair follicles are so receptive. So that's a good way to do it. Any other oils? I'm trying to think through the day. You might want to. So if you're using the Peace and Calming, you're using the Valor, definitely for trials for them and for you. Do you know what the Valor does?
The Valor it's for me mostly. It just gives me more grounding. I get nervous when I get into, mostly because I'm dealing with Grace, who's very, very high energy. So her energy increases my energy increases her, and it just becomes a vicious circle. So I apply the Valor, And then that kind of settles me so that I can be calm to her when she's getting out of control.
Right.
And I'm not saying that I have total control of her. I don't. That would be, I just don't. It's just the type of dog she is. She loves agility. She just flies over the top. And so the best I can, this is what I'm doing.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and that's all we can do,
Yeah.
right? Use the tools that are in your toolbox. And
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any other oily tips with your pets or?
So the Thieves is a standby for cleanup.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
Yes. And so that is definitely something that I just have it in a sprayable container so that cleanups are easy with Thieves, and it leaves a nice fresh smell. And
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh, that's awesome. I totally forgot about the
Yes. Yes.
I do like it too. Yeah.
Yes,
that
and
can
and
use
it, I do too. It's a very appealing smell. It's very homey.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Yeah. Actually, I have on our road trip, I have a spray bottle in the vehicle, in the pouch, and I just threw it in there going, I don't know when I'm going to need this, but I've been using it numerous times from the seats were stinking, so I sprayed the seats down, and then we were picnicking, and I had an old knife that I was using to cut our vegetables with, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't feel safe. So I just took the Thief spray and just sprayed the knife.
Yeah.
And just different things like that, where it's like, okay, I feel comfortable now using this or touching this or whatever because I've cleaned that surface without using the strong antibacterial stuff. Yeah. That's destroying everything, good and bad bacteria.
And then in the vehicle as well, I do have like a plug-in type diffuser.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So the product that I'm using now is not Young Living, but when that is done, I will definitely be using something that this one is called Refresh. So the vehicle tends to get a little doggy smelling because you travel with 4 dogs. It does.
Oh, I wonder if the purification would be a good one.
That would be an excellent one.
Yeah.
I don't use the diffused thing for calming because obviously you're driving,
right?
So you don't want that. But I just use that one as to just keep the air fresh and
doggy smells down.
Yeah.
Yes. We had Jake, our dog, was rolling in bear poo because that's what we have everywhere. And it's a good thing because it's natural for them to do that. But I really don't want the bear poo smell in my house.
Yes.
So I've done a spray bottle with purification and citrus fresh, I think, is the two I mixed together.
Yeah.
And then I just sprayed his bed and I sprayed down his back. And then he also doesn't like the spray either. But I'm like, buddy, it's either this or a bath, and he doesn't like the bath either. The other one I use for him, because when he does have to go to the groomer, is Stress Away.
Yeah.
And the same thing, I put it on my hands and then just rub it down his back.
Yeah.
And then he.
It's so easy to apply.
Yeah.
Because even if they lick it, it's not. And generally they don't because they don't. I haven't found that mine have.
No, I don't think so.
Because once it's on, you can't even really smell it. So it's just doing its job. Yeah. Do you have another question?
Oh yeah. What is good for cleanup? So Sue asked, what's good for cleanup? Didn't hear the name. Oh, it was Thieves Cleaner.
Yes.
Yeah. Thieves Cleaner. So it comes in a concentrate. A liter bottle, I think, and then you just use a capful in a big spray bottle. So like, I wish I had it here, but it's in the car right now. So I use it. I think it's a 2-cup spray bottle that I use with 1 capful. That's all you use. Yeah. So it's quite highly concentrated. Shall I just check and see if I've missed anything else for questions? No, it looks good. Oh, I wanted to share too that when I put the Stress Away on, I did it while I was actually in the dog groomers in the waiting area there. And the groomer was like, what are you doing? And so I just explained, I'm just putting some Stress Away on. Jake doesn't like it here. He's not unkind or anything. He just doesn't like it. And so immediately when I put it on, it just calmed him, and to the point that he would actually walk in.
Yeah.
And so she's like, oh, I've been looking for essential oils. And so I brought her a diffuser to try in the parlor. And she loved it. And she got the diffuser. And she uses purification a lot. So if a dog is taking a dump in the parlor, they put the purification on. If they have a difficult dog, they will use, I think the Peace and Calming is the one that they use.
Yeah.
I think they use lemon as well. And I'm not sure what else. I just saw her recently, and she said they are still using it. So check with your dog groomer. And they can certainly be using the oils in the dog grooming shop. They don't have to be applying it to the dog.
That's right. Yeah.
They're still going to be breathing that in and hopefully make it a little bit nicer smelling. Oh, the thieves, that's the other one. They use the thieves a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to clear the air.
Definitely.
Cool. Great. Anything else that we can share?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, I think that was a lot of information. And, would the thieves prevent dogs from peeing in the same spot in the house? Would it neutralize the pee smell? Because that's what we're trying to do, right?
Exactly.
Is neutralize that smell.
I don't know, because I don't know if mine is habit, my dog, because once one goes, then the other one wants to. So I can't confirm that.
Mm-hmm. You can try. You can definitely give it a try. And don't dilute it as much. You might even want to do it straight up. And just, like a little bit, because it's, it's fairly costly.
I would test it, though, because it is colored. Like the Thieves does have some color. A slight color. So I would want to test it first.
Yeah.
Mine carpets are so old and they're going to come out one day. Yeah. So I don't care.
Yeah.
But you might
do a color safe test.
Yeah. I would.
Okay. Somewhere where you wouldn't, that doesn't really matter. Yeah. Okay. Okay, but definitely, give it a try, Trixie, and see. I'm curious if that would, that would help. Because it does have a thief smell to it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So it might.
But some dogs, they don't really care. They just, it's that's somebody else gone there, so therefore.
I must go.
Yeah.
Go, I must.
They're dogs, right?
Yes. Awesome. Good. Well, if there isn't any other questions, I think we will sign off. We're heading for a day of fun and whatever. Oh, wait. It works great on laminate to shine them and sparkle them up too.
I have it actually. For my floors, I have the what's it called? It is called vinyl plank. It's not planks, but it's anyway, same thing. And I have it in my floor cleaner, the Thieves.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and it does leave a very nice smell. So
yeah. Well, that's the other thing I used it for too, the tent trailer. So after getting it set up and in and out, the kids were in and out, and the floor was a disaster. And so I just took some paper towel and the Thieves and done. Yeah, sparkly clean. Yeah, and it's not toxic. I mean, you're not putting chemicals on. So.
Well, and Fresca tends to lick the floors. Oh. So I don't have to worry that it's going to harm her. Any chemicals will harm. Yeah. Yep. Don't ask me why. She just does. She's my floor cleaner. And it's not because they're dirty. It's because it's just one of those obsessive habits. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Well, thank you for introducing your dogs to us.
You're welcome. And
for sharing your tips. And this was pretty special. I'm pretty pleased that we got to interview Lynda, my mama. And so this will be up, and you can keep going back and listening to the tips again, take some notes, and if you need some Thieves cleaner, give either one of us a shout, either through email or through Facebook. Hey, can you post a picture of your lovelies?
Yes.
Okay.
When I get home.
Okay. So after you get home, in this feed, in the comments, post a picture of your four. Yes. 4 lovelies, and then we can have a look at all these beautiful dogs.
Awesome.
So thank you for joining us, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.